Hi, this is also P. I have Mercury in Libra, and consequently I am compelled to provide balance to the information, that's out there. So in astrology, when you have Saturn in hard aspect to a planet, this has a negative reputation. I mean, it isn't like you can't find anything good out there, but you can't find much. So I'm constantly coming on here to say nice things about Saturn, and I'm back with more of that today. This time I want to focus on Saturn in aspect to Mercury. This is especially topical because that's a Saturn-Virgo exchange, and Saturn is currently transiting Virgo. But I'm talking about people who have Saturn in aspect to their natal Mercury. And what you'll read is that Saturn slows the mind, it makes it difficult to communicate, and so forth. Well, it isn't that this isn't true, but there's other ways that this plays that are much more positive. And one of them would be Mercury with boundaries. In other words, you know when to start talking and know when to stop. So to use some personal examples, I write a blog, and people come on all the time, and they're going to psychoanalyze me or something like that, and it's like I didn't ask them, and I consider that to be like a lack of boundaries. Who asked you? And the contrary to this, what the story that prompted me to come on here today. Yesterday was the soldier's second day at a new job, and he has Saturn in aspect to his Mercury. And at his last job, and anyway, what happened is, they're pretty hot shots there, and they came up to him on day 2, and there's 2 owners, and they said, so can you see anything that we could do differently, to be more efficient or whatever around here? And he said, well, hell yes. And they were shocked. They thought they had everything. They were shocked that he might have some input. And they said, like what? Well, he's like I think he's a genius. He's tested. He's a near genius. So he starts ticking it off on day 2. You could do this. You could do this. You could do this. You could do that. And the point being, had they not asked him, he would not have said anything. At his last job, he was there for a year and a half. He had all kinds of ideas. Well, no one asked him. And I have Saturn in aspect to Mercury as well, although it's very wide. Like some people wouldn't count it. You have to open up the orbs to get it, but it's there. And I remember I worked for Frito-Lay for years, and I had worked there like about 3 days. I was in my early 20s. And they asked people, I went to this meeting, I never worked for like a big company in my life, and they said, does anyone have any ideas? I said, I do. And I sat there and just outlined how the whole company ought to run. And the room was quiet. Of course, I'm from the desert. I didn't know what I had done. But after the meeting, my boss, who's sort of responsible for me, this big mouth who's worked there a week, he said, what did you do? What'd you do? And I said, well, what do you mean? They ask. And he says, well, I guess it'll be okay, because I really had, strong criticism for how they were running things. Well, they implemented every single thing I said within 5 years, So anyway, this is what I'm telling you. People who have Saturn in aspect to Mercury, some of us work it this way. We won't tell you. If you don't ask the right question, then you don't find out what we know, because we have boundaries. And so back to my blog, maybe someone could give me a lot of insight, maybe if I ask. The people who offer it without being asked, they have no control over their mind, and I don't know that their mind is superior. You see what I'm saying? This is Elsa P. at elsaelsa.com. See ya.